sorry, are you on our email list?
Yes, I am, but maybe
Did
I'm
you
not.
get that wrong
because
address?
You have everything, but,
My
you know,
secretary
sometimes I don't get
wrote the wrong
nothing,
address.
so maybe I'm lost in the shuffle. I'll give it to you again.
Do yourselves a favor, don't spend an enormous amount of time worrying about turnout type numbers, worry about the level of activity of the people that show. Because in all honesty, I got a very small group, but we get a lot of votes. We get votes multiple times of what our enrollment is. Your impact is judged with results, and your goals have to be accomplished. I mean, for me, the goals are decent voter participation on election day, voting on the Conservative Party line. It should tell you, Fran, I spend time quantitatively measuring it afterwards to see what occurred, and then I decide whether it worked or not. I mean, I never have, in all the years I've been involved in the Conservative Party, I've been the chairman since January of '89, and I've been the vice chairman of the state party since like '94. I've never once worried about the total enrollment. I've always worried about the total vote. You know, and we've been okay with that. The state party has done very well vote-wise. The county party has had a consistently good vote, not, you know, great vote, but good vote. But there are years where we have outpolled the Republican Party in many parts of Brooklyn. We don't outpoll the Democratic Party, except maybe occasionally in Garrison Beach or something. But I mean, that's okay. We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
I just want to point out that when I ran for Congress in the conservative line, there are a little less than 800 conservatives in the district, but I got 2,000 votes.
Right. We often get that's a funny, the actual multiplier, which is not always the case, of course, and there were always variations due to, you know, what's going on, is 2.5 times our enrollment. But that often occurs. But I'm not here to brag about the Conservative Party, because I don't make claim that we're that big a deal. But I do think what we stand for is a big deal. And you know, I mean, I don't. Our people like you do it for the community, right? Fran is like the head. Fran, how long have you been the head of the Dyker Heights Civic Association?
How long?
Yeah.
Since 1994.
1994. So you've been the chairperson of that for a very, very long time. And Liam, who just left, has been very active in a bunch of civic groups in Brooklyn. And a lot of our people, I mean, I make the plea to our people. I used to be the head of the Dyker Heights Civic Association, but that's going back. That was before Dyker Heights had any problems.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. My point is, I always make the plea to our people that they get civically involved. Because, I mean, there's no real nexus of political success without civic involvement, unless you're mega wealthy, and then you can do what you want. But that's not me, and I don't think it's anybody here. You, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I see this. I see your house. Let me ask you a question. Just like I got you here, and you can't leave. How many cars do you own?
I have 4.
4. You got 4 cars.
They're crap.
I think
They
one of them
garbage cars.
actually runs.
Yeah, but
One of them kind of. It's like a 1987 station wagon, right? 30 years old. I have a 2002 Land Rover, ooh, luxury. That car don't start, piece of crap. A 96 Lincoln Town Car that has a welded chassis. You know, pray the Lord, it leaks oil all over the place. Not good for the environment. And a 67 Lincoln with a suicide door. That's a nice. I use that for a parade car, for flags, and I make believe I'm president.
So let me add my 2 cents on this. I think that part of the problem that we're having is that we, Republican, conservative, are not proving to the people what we're capable of doing. You know, we would put one person to run for XYZ, they either win or lose. And the majority of the people don't realize the background of what's happening here. They don't realize the services that can be produced. Okay? For example, back in the 60s and 70s, the Black Panthers, they went out and started up soup kitchens and programs to help the youth and all this. And all of a sudden, we have members from back in those days who are now in office. And what was that?
Charles Barron.
Okay. So, and we don't have that type of program today to show the community, hey, you want want jobs? Talk to the conservative parties, talk to the Republican Party. They're not gonna get your job. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that these are the steps that needs to be taken to show the people that we are caring.
You actually in particular, I mean, you were a good candidate. You were a good candidate, you cared, and you're active, I know with the Masons, yeah, I mean, are we allowed to say that, you guys? But, I mean, the thing is that, you're active on a lot of community stuff, so, I mean, you're a good example of what you're saying.
But, okay, thank you. But the thing is that one individual or one small group cannot go out there and hand out a cheese line to the entire city, okay? But if this administration won with the concept of we're going to make America great again, or great, I call it. This administration won with the idea of America first. The steps that we need to do is show that we will make America first, okay? We need to make sure that all of the Americans who are unemployed get something. We need to make sure that the individual who wants to succeed has a stepping stone to do that. You had a question or comment?
No, I agree with you 100%. I sit on food banks tiered engagement, they call it the 10 tracker. And this is where all the nonprofit organizations get together, and we get together maybe like a couple times a year. And everybody talks about the services they offer, and we try to like connect with each other, because that allows us to connect with people from South Brooklyn to people in North Brooklyn, like that. It's just a shame that we don't have that.
Don't get me wrong.
We need another tiered engagement kind of activity going on.
I'm not advocating free money or free food for anyone. I'm not advocating that. What I am saying is that we need to have a present out there to show that group did this.
You know what we could do? I've done it on a small level. Talking about social media before. Create a Facebook page of your neighborhood. There might be one already existing. There was in my case, I live in Kensington, and there was an annoying, pretentious page called Kensington Brooklyn. Right? Get good kale, right?
SJW page, we should call
Right,
it.
so, I mean, and I would put stuff on about de Blasio, because he was part of the district, he was our city councilman at one point, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, you can't do this. So I said, you know what, let's rewrite the narrative here. Let me be in charge of saying what I could say and not. I don't have to rely on it. So I created another page. We're about to reach our 2,000 member. Yeah, it's mixed with liberals, of course. It's whoever lives in the neighborhood. And we've grown since 2013 when I did that. And the thing is that you put your voice out there. Now it's Glenda Sarah posting up historical photos of the neighborhood, which I like history, so I did where these old buildings used to be and do little narratives on that. So they say, oh wow, that's cool. And then just other things you start sprinkling in about this issue, that issue. Like just recently, on the Prospect Expressway, the lights have been out for a very long time. It's very dangerous going east, going Manhattan down and going Allen down to the beach. Big section before Church Avenue, out. So one of my co-administrators of the page wrote something about it. I told him if he could write something about that. And then I forwarded that to Brad Lander's page. And he's the one that wanted the bag tax, and he knows my opposition towards that. And Robert Carroll, I ran against him, I should know his name. Robert, there's a couple of them running.
Peter's his cousin.
Right, that's what I'm trying to do in Beirut. So Robert Carroll also was thrown onto that mix where he chimed in. So once they both chimed in, and to their credit, they responded that thank you for bringing it to their attention, and they will get on this, because it's a state road actually. So they're gonna, but it shows activism. It shows that Glenn Nocera brought this issue to light.
But that doesn't help Brooklyn Tea Party.
Well, it does, because then I'm associated with the Brooklyn Tea Party. They already know about me and the Tea Party. See, it starts to, you don't have to be overt about it in the beginning. It start sprinkling. Oh yeah, that's Glenda Sarah, the tea pot, because that's, trust me, that's what comments these other members make on the page or other page, the other council page, they still talk on that page too. They mention, oh yeah, you got a tea party, whatever.
Yeah, but if we're gonna improve our reputation, image, we need to people think Brooklyn Tea Party doing stuff.
That's right, but we're bringing stuff to light, and at the end of the day, we're also taking on issues, meaning as a conservative thought process.
I'm all
You know
for
what I'm
it.
saying? So,
If something like
on
that-
the level of each individual here, if you have a community page, like a Heights, or whatever the case may be, there might be a couple of them there, and you don't like the way it's run, create your own page. And invite your friends that you know are neighbors, and then from there it starts morphing and starts building. Before you know, you have 2,000 people on the page and whatever, and it starts growing. Might not be everyone that you like, but at the end of the day, we're all about hearing two sides, not the other side. Of course. They don't want to hear our side. But
No, they try to delete you, and they
Right,
shadow
exactly.
ban
They'll
you.
delete you, call you mean
What's the
spirited.
verb?
Shadow ban, that's his Twitter term.
Okay.
Like
So,
you-
but have a voice out there.
Right, right.
And create something, and you become your own William Randolph Hearst at the end of the day.
Well, you don't use him. Okay, can I go do topic now?
Sure, good.
Okay, first of all, Jerry, thank you for your presentation, that was great. And I took the notes and we'll publish them later. And, but we're gonna open discussion now, right?
Yeah.
So another topic that was brought up before today's meeting that I wanted to bring up was Cottrell mentioned that we should consider who we're going to endorse for two positions that are open this year, right? Controller and public advocate.
Yes, I've been working on controller.
Okay, I want to talk about that. Controller.
Cottrell, if everyone don't know, he's our vice
Vice
president.
President
Cottrell.
Gore. Vice President Gore.
And I used to.
That's why I ran for Congress in 2000. I have my own website, www.cashforgore, and liberals in Louisiana were chipping in.
Yeah, all right.
So why don't you tell us what you've done concerning
Well,
controller?
There are three people that I have in mind for controller in particular. They have business backgrounds. One is Lawrence Kudlow.
You mean the MSNBC guy?
Yes, he also was an economic advisor to President Reagan,
Right.
and also a tax advisor to Governor Pataki.
Well, Governor Pataki would need to move into the city.
I said, Lawrence Kudlow was a tax advisor,
It's talking about
Larry
residency.
Kudlow?
like Lawrence Kudlow.
Yeah, I know Larry pretty well. He was, but don't these people have to want to run for controller?
I asked him what he considered.
I know him pretty well. He ain't considered.
I was thinking about Connecticut Senator.
Yeah, all right. But I mean, I'm sorry.
But he lives on 93rd Street in Manhattan,
Yeah.
and I sent him an email. He just sent me an email. And
He spoke at the Cathedral Club 2 weeks ago. He's not looking to run for city controller.
He's pretty happy with what he's doing now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and that might be, and this is, let me just caution on this. I mean, you gotta have names of people who want to do it.
So, isn't Larry Kudlow on Trump's economic advisory team? Or it was in the campaign, but not anymore?
Larry is about, I've known Larry since about 1979. He's, nothing could be further from his mind running for any office in the city of New York.
Okay.
It's not even, he would just immediately say, what are you talking about? So,
Okay, who else you got in mind?
Bob Turner.
good choice. Bob's interested?
I haven't contacted him as yet.
Okay.
And the other person I can think of is Frank Spatono.
Who?
Frank Spatono, he's a businessman in the Bronx and Queens. He owns an elevator company, ran for Congress.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
is
he's
he
running
a-
for something right now. He's running for
Yeah, isn't
Senate, isn't he?
Frank wanted to run for Senate last time. He ran for Congress. The only thing on that is he doesn't actually live in the city. He lives in Westchester. He lives in Yonkers. Frank ran in the congressional seat. I know Frank pretty well too.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually live in the city. The congressional seat ran through the city. Also, you're not required to live in the congressional seat to run. He didn't actually live in the congressional seat. He approached me to run for U.S. Senate last time against Schumer. But we weren't going to do that because his presentation was off. He would not have been able to do TV. So we didn't do it, and we also knew that that Wendy Long was close to Laura Ingraham and was also close to Trump. You'll probably see Wendy
playing a fairly significant role in the Trump administration as the weeks go by. So we knew that at the time. So did we know Trump was going to get elected president? No, obviously not.
I did.
Well, you did. You were probably one of the first people in the state, actually.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's true. I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe that. But Wendy is very close to Laura. Laura is very close to the president. Wendy is also close to the president for other reasons, and she ran a campaign around him. So we knew at the time she was going to run a linked campaign. Frank's a good guy, but he did not have the ability to communicate.
He didn't, I did contact Frank Espartano, and he didn't rule it out. I did not, I thought he lived in the Bronx.
Yeah, he does. He lives in Westchester.
Actually, I happen to know to run for council, he only lived in the same state, so if I
Right.
wanted
He
to run
did
for
not live
Congress-
in the congressional seat.
If I wanted, I could run for council in Buffalo, New York, if I wanted to.
Would you like to?
Legally,
And
I
as,
don't
and
want
as
to.
you know, Shirley Chisholm married a Buffalo University professor and represented Brooklyn from Buffalo.
Right?
Yeah,
She
she
lived-
was also a state senator, I believe her husband was a
Yeah, but when she was a state
Hardwick.
senator, when she was a state senator, she lived in Brooklyn.
Yes, but her husband's name was Hardwick,
Yeah, and she lived up in Buffalo.
I know that. She was my
For all those
congressman.
years.
and I regret that I once volunteered for her, by the way. I regret that.
We all have regrets in life.
Yes.
So you want to reach out to Bob Turner then?
Yeah, I reached out to Frank Spatano. He said he seems to be considering. I did not like live in West.
I spoke to Bob Turner maybe last month, and I was trying to get him to be a guest speaker in January at the time. I think he went for a ski trip to Colorado at the time. So we'll definitely try to have Bob as a speaker in the
Good.
future.
Good.
When I was president of the Brooklyn Young Republican Club, we were the first to organize a campaign fundraiser for him, and we gave him a nice check from our political action committee. And Bob is a good guy, and I'm glad he won at that time. And too bad they had to he was 1 block away from where the district ended. I could look up East 4th Street, and there was a Republican. Within my grasp where I live. And I'm like, out the block, there's a Republican representation. Of course, it went towards Queens mostly, but I was right at the tail end in Brooklyn. Wow, and it was like the first time since 1920 something or other, the roaring 20s, right?
He is a conservative, but he's not a Tea Party conservative. He said that. He said he's not a
Okay,
Tea Party.
look, it's the closest thing.
I mean, look, if he wants to run, and he's the Republican chairman, I personally don't recommend party chairman run for office, to be honest with you, because it kind of screws up certain things. But he's the chairman, and if he wants to run, he'd be a good guy.
Okay, we'll reach out to him.
He has some.
You guys mentioned Chuck Schumer before.
No, we didn't.
Somebody did.
Yes.
No, we tried to talk about him.
Well, oh no, I hate him. When I was a kid, I grew up in this neighborhood, East 9th Street, between O&P. My mother was Barbara Waterman. She was very politically active. When I was a little kid, maybe 10 years old, my mother told me to go with him. He was running, he was just getting started out. We were knocking on doors and I was campaigning for him. I was 10 years old, but I'm
What
sorry.
did you know, right?
I hate everything he's ever done.
Speaking about regrets,
But I
right?
just heard, yeah, and well, that's also, but I also heard that, and I don't know if it's true or not, I got on the internet, I'm getting this on social media. He might be in big legal trouble, they might be like getting him out of office and even
No,
throwing
I
him in jail.
don't know, I'm not aware of that.
All right.
Sounds like fake
I will
news.
look more into it.
Maybe
I hope it's true.
Fake news.
we will.
I have to trust 20% of whatever he does.
I know.
Right, you always have to solicit and try to, because even on the right or left.
His office used to
there's
be
so
right
much
here.
crap out
I
there.
know.
He's
It
17.
has something to do with Hillary Clinton, but, and then they're even trying to say she might go to jail, and I'm still
Well,
crossing my fingers.
No, it's not.
She's,
It could happen, but it's not going to.
she's like Harry Houdini, you know?
Yeah, really. Okay, so
Big escape
that's all. We'll proceed on the controller spot. What about public advocate? You have anything on that?
No, I don't.
Do we have anybody who are interested in running for public advocate? Or
No, I think
We
what's
get rid
gonna,
of the.
I think what's gonna, you know what I think's gonna happen? I think the mayoral candidates, whoever we focus on for mayor, is going to want to put that ticket together based on what, I think Massey is gonna want to put his own ticket together. I think if the Conservative Party, for argument's sake, runs Bo Dietl or Faulkner, they're gonna wanna, it's almost like, they choose a lieutenant governor. So there isn't, I mean, they like suggestions, and they're always willing to take suggestions, but they would have an interest in manipulating the tickets for their own, for the benefit of the top of the ticket.
Jerry, regards to Bo Dietl, I always liked him, just from hearing him on the radio. and he's kind of like Trump-esque in a sense, like in your face. I like that, I like that.
A little too much, though.
A little too much, but you know what, this is New York, we,